Hello again. I am Tasia Greener, your Voices of Gaia Oracle. And today I will be giving you a transmission from the Voices of Gaia, New Earth Leadership Archetype of the Miracle Worker. And this is on one of the gifts of the Miracle Worker that was inspired by the gene keys. That's Gene, gene, like your genes, um, your DNA. Um, and it is the gift of exquisiteness. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm going to bring through a transmission. And I always encourage you to go to the source of the gene keys if you're inspired to receive the original transmission from Richard Rudd. What comes through me comes through my channel, and it will have a different lens and a bit of a different flavor to it. And but the core is there. I am a Gene Keys ambassador and a guide, and have been working with them for about 10 years now. And by no means will I ever say that my wisdom is a replacement for the original wisdom, and it is a complement to it. And if you are drawn to my transmissions, you have a connection to being a channel, being an oracle for Gaia, a voice of Gaia. And these archetypes, this body of work that wanted to come through me, was about being one of those voices and using these 8 archetypes, including the miracle worker, to share deep earth wisdom from Gaia, from the great mother who nourishes us and supports us. And it is a very, feminine transmission that wants to come through today with exquisiteness. It's in the ring of water. And it's along in that ring, that codon ring. We're talking about DNA here. The codon ring of water is with gene key 14, which is bounteousness. And so it is this journey of tapping in, embodying your own exquisiteness that leads to the fields of bounteousness. And so we're going to explore that a little bit. But first, let's anoint with this beautiful essential oil anointing perfume. I intuited these blends for each of the archetypes, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. And I'm going to go ahead and roll this in the palm of my hand, just to activate these plant allies that support the embodiment of the miracle worker and our gifts, or his gifts. Mine have a feminine flavor, but there's definitely room to bring in the masculine. If anybody were to want to work with these, that is not female. I love this one. It's so bright and cheerful. And it contains Roman chamomile, the oil of spiritual purpose. And I'm reading here from my altar cards that I've made the digital art for. So there's a transmission in that. So if you're watching the video of this, you can just receive that. And it also has clary sage, the oil of clarity and vision, sweet orange, the oil of joy and abundance, and Tagits or marigold, the oil of prosperity. So this is a 4-component blend. Some of mine range from 3 to 8. This one is the 4. And the miracle worker is here to share the frequency of the light of miraculous grace of all the timelines. through your voice of Gaia as a new earth leader. The mission of the miracle worker is to orchestrate and implement the collective changes in the environment that are required for the stabilization of the new earth consciousness into the 3D physical reality on our planet and into your life. The miracle worker embodies the essence of boundlessness, bounteousness, grace, stillness, bliss, exquisiteness, timelessness, and peace. So today, as I mentioned, we are going to be tapping into the gift of exquisiteness, the diamond of the self, the channel of originality. It is in the thyroid and the throat. And it moves from the shadow of mediocrity to exquisiteness through style. And so the mediocrity can come through when we're trying to express ourselves, we're trying to be ourselves, our authentic selves. And in phases of immaturity or in, lack of experience, not necessarily being emotionally immature, but just in our developmental process of life, we have to practice. And sometimes that can be overwhelming, and we might go into a trauma response and freeze up and just become wooden, is how they call it, a wooden, the shadow of being wooden, and you're just not expressing yourself. You've locked down, you've covered up that beautiful diamond spectrum of yourself, that unique quality. And the other way that it can express itself is through over trying, right? There's this response, this reactive response of trying to express yourself and practicing, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but eventually letting go of this artificial nature of putting on other people's personas and using them as yours. And a lot of time, it takes time to move through that. I know in my own journey, right? You are actually a combination of all of the people and the places and the things that you interact with. But you're a special blend of that. And so it's more about claiming your uniqueness, your unique fractals of expression. And that is your style. And that leads to that exquisite vibration, that fractal of luminescence, of light. And if you can even just feel that, like when you're in your own style, you're doing it your way, and you're loving it, you're feeling it, you're in this nice, watery, feminine, flowy, creative, sensual, expressive, luminous body of light. You can just even feel it rising up from a place of rootedness in the earth, and it's being nourished and supported up through the sacral, up through the power center, and being softened, opened through the heart, and blending in the higher frequencies down through the crown chakra, blending in the intuitive insights, bringing them down, 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 all of them into that throat. These are your frequencies, your unique multidimensional self. Bringing it through the throat, this unique voice frequency, this exquisiteness, this style that is all your own. What does that look like? Just be with that, feel that. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? And this is like the essence of being a miracle worker, is you bring through your special messages in your own style, in your own way. No longer trying to follow the instructions of someone else, no longer feeling like you have to, no longer feeling like you're not good enough to express yourself the way that you do it. And not to worry if you find yourself freezing up or you find yourself slightly imitating or all the way imitating someone, just be playful about it, realize it, and move back into your own authenticity. This is energy. This is energy of the Taurus, energy of Taurus energy, right? It's very earthy, very grounded as well. So you can only really access this frequency of your unique style when you're rooted, grounded into Mother Earth, into nature. And we're actually here to be an expression of Mother Earth, an expression of Mama Gaia, a voice of Gaia. And when you can access this frequency, you begin to be a miracle worker wherever you go, whatever you do. You're taking your gifts there, you're sharing them, no matter how unusual they are. No matter how unusual they are, no matter how long you have denied them, untapped them, now is the time to tap into them, to share them, to be an example for others, because it is from this very place of being willing to share your uniqueness, your authentic uniqueness, that we open up again, right, to that field of bounteousness, that miraculous field of bounteousness, to that field of the sacred family where we all have a contribution to bring to the table, to make the feast. So let's see here if there is a light language transmission that wants to come through. Lohoro ara inihi alaka isho ala mene ate a shashashama ane ke kala ik aratu undahi shishana halene ra uru ala mene kre te ala inaho ungu la ndai ne meka ate ku ashani ala e uru a ikala kikira ete oho shikala rende la e koit shika ala no. You never know who needs to hear you. You never know who needs to receive your unique special frequency. You never know how healing it can be. Never, ever compromise yourself in a way that prevents you from your full expression, your natural way of expressing, your exquisite way of being an embodied spiritual being. Always knowing that when you lose your way, you can tap into that primordial mother, the primordial womb, who absorbs everything that is not yours, takes it back, and restores you to your original primordial essence, that exquisite nature that you were conceived as and born into this physical body as. Lo urumare, ko urumare, ko urumare, ko urumare, ko urumare, ko urumare. Gashta. Enjoy it. Enjoy your uniqueness. And allow others to be recipients of it. For when we give to another from an open heart, from a deep sense of love and authenticity, that's when the 5D new earth consciousness can be rooted on the earth to activate the new grids of prosperity and abundance of the new earth. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, much love.